Hello everyone, a warm welcome to this video. My name is Ankeet and you're watching E4E Hub channel on YouTube. Right? Wherever you're joining from, you know that this channel helps you build fluency in English language, and it does so in a very proactive way for the learner, not for the teacher. So we expect you to be equal participants and try to do the exercises as we are showing them. All the links of the quizzes that I do online are in the description. So you can just see the description, you'll get the link, open that online quiz on a separate tab, and we are ready to go. So what's the topic going to be for this video? The topic is going to be work and career. It's a very important topic for a lot of people because you mostly are expected to use English at your workplace, with your colleagues, with your superiors, managers, and with your subordinates if at all you're leading a team and such. So work and career is a very important topic. We will look at what this video is going to cover. So let's move to the lesson plan. Here we have the expectations for this video. We are not going to cover all the 3 points. This video will only look at the vocabulary part. Okay, it will not look at the grammar and the real life task. The grammar and the real life task will be in part 2 and part 3 respectively. This is part 1 video which will only cover the vocabulary section. So let's dive into the vocabulary. We are going to look at a few words which are very important when we talk about our jobs, our careers, or your workplace. So we will look at individual words, but we will also look at some common expressions that we use in professional life, okay, to describe our work experiences, describe our workflow, and so on and so forth. So how many words and how many experiences, how many expressions rather, we will look at in a few seconds. So we're not going to delay much at all. And that's what we are going to cover in this part of the video. In the next parts, you will look at grammar and real life. Okay, so I've just broken a very long video down into parts so that it's convenient to you as it's convenient to us as well. Okay. So, what are we expected to know when it comes to the vocabulary part, especially on a topic which is very important like work, career, right? Without further delay, let's move into the vocabulary section. As I've mentioned previously, everything that I show on the screen, okay, especially the online quizzes, the link is available in the description of the video. So before you continue further, I want you to open that link on a separate tab and work along with us together. Okay, so that's going to work really well for the viewers as much as it's going to be effective video for us teachers as well. Okay, so amazing. Now you'll see something which is work and career. That's what you'll see. And as my previous videos, you already might have gotten used to the system of collapsing the menu or not. So if you want to hide the menu, you can just click on the arrow. If you want to show it, you can click again and it will show. So the very first thing we are going to do is we will move to quiz number 1, and then I'm going to collapse this video so we have a good space for all the contents of the page to see. Now, what you see on the screen are some of the qualities or characteristics of a job. Whenever we look for a new job, we want to apply for a new position, you know, we all have different things that we look for in that position, in that job, in that organization, wherever you're applying for, whatever position, whatever organization. Okay, so that's not important right now. The important thing is I just want you to spend 5 seconds going through these qualities that any job gives you. For example, some jobs make you famous. Okay? For instance, if you are a sports commentator, people are going to listen to you, they're going to know your names, they're going to know your likes and preferences. So you might become famous even though you don't realize it. Some jobs help people. So whoever is doing that job, it enables them to reach out to a lot of people, especially if it is an NGO or a socially responsible organization, right? So that's what some jobs give you. And then there are other qualities, like some jobs give you that space to be creative, okay, to apply new things, new designs. A lot of artistic jobs like fashion design, painting, enable you to do that, okay, to be creative. And almost all jobs always have one common aspect, okay, at least most of the jobs, they allow you to make money, earn money. It can be a formal salary, it can be something which is not a salary but an infrequent pay that you get. So that's fine, that's absolutely not a problem at all. Some jobs give you free time and some jobs are simply fun to do, it makes you happy. So I just want you to drag and drop. If you also want, you can just order them using the arrows. The first one should be something that appeals to you the most. When you look for a job, what do you look for? That should come first, and then rank these qualities in order. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 seconds, and if you want to pause for a longer time, you can pause the video. You have the control of either fast forwarding it or pausing it, so you can pause it if you want a longer time, and then you can do this exercise. It's a quick fun exercise, so I don't think you should take much time. For example, I'll just do the first one for you. For me, it's very important that whatever I do, it reaches out to a lot of people. That comes first to me, okay, because I'm a very socially inclined person otherwise. So for me, this quality is going to be the first thing that I look for if at all I'm searching for a job. What is it that you look for? And for me, the second one has to be, it's got to be creative, because I would rather get bored doing the same thing again and again. So it's got to have some space to apply new things, new skills, or do the same thing in a different manner, a little creatively, that way. Okay, so these are the first two most important things for me. Money kind of comes fifth or sixth as far as I'm concerned, but that may not be the case for you. So what is it that you look for? From the most appealing qualities to the least appealing qualities, rank them. Take 5 seconds. Okay, that is it. So if you need a little more time, feel free to pause. Okay, we're not running away anyway. You can always pause the video, do the exercise, and come back to the video, start playing it. But watch the whole video in a connected fashion. That's very important. Now, I don't know what was your order or your ranking, but as far as I'm concerned, if you click the interesting button, you will see my list. So this is how I rank the qualities that I'm looking for in a job. First, I need to be able to help people. Second, it has to be fun, has to make you happy, otherwise you'll not be able to do it for a very long time. It's going to be creative, and you might become famous, so a little bit of popularity doesn't hurt. It's got to give you a little bit of free time at least. There has to be a balance in your work and your family time. Has to have a work-life balance, as we say it in English. And last but not least, it has to help you to make your ends meet, help you to earn a living, make lots of money. That's it. For some people, making money comes somewhere on the top. For others, it's a little bit like money is not important, but it's a little important, not the most important as such. So that's what we do. Right. I hope you enjoyed this activity and it's kind of warmed you up on the topic at least. So that's what I was looking for. That's my list. Right? Money comes last. First comes fun, creativity, reaching out to people. That's really something that appeals to me at least. And I know a lot of people who kind of have the same kind of preferences, especially from the teaching field. Yeah, because teaching is a very passionate job. You need to be able to work with people, need to enjoy your work, appeal to people, and so on and so forth. So that works for me. Yeah. Now we're going to move to the second exercise. So you can either click on the top right arrow, or you can simply collapse and click on the second one, and we will come here. Now, mind you, this has a listening activity. And even I don't know whether whoever will speak in this audio or whoever you will listen to is a male or a female. I don't know. And it's okay to not know, because in the first 5 to 10 seconds of the audio, you're going to come to know. That's it. That's the whole idea. I simply want you to listen to the audio. The audio is roughly a minute or so. Okay, it's a little above 50 seconds. And while you're listening to that, I want you to ask yourself, whoever this person is talking in the audio, is that person happy with his or her job or not so happy with his or her job? And there are two options just below the audio. Yes, the person is happy, finds the job good, meaningful, rewarding, or the person isn't happy, wants to change the job, is getting bored with the job. The job isn't as interesting as it used to be, right? So what's the right answer? I just want you to think about it and select the right answer there. Okay, I hope all of us are on the same page here. And the audio starts in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
My job is the worst job in the world. I work really long hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day. The pay is terrible and I only just earn enough money to live on. I don't get paid holidays and I lose money if I need to take time off. When I started, they promised me on the job training. Well, they showed me how to make a cup of tea and that was it. I've been here 10 years and I still haven't been promoted. I'm doing the same job I did when I started. And it isn't really the most challenging job. I mean, I think I could probably do it in my sleep. On my first day here, I was so excited. I really thought this was the start of my career. I thought I would soon be a businesswoman earning loads of money. Well, I was wrong. I know what you're thinking. Why don't I give in my notice? I can't. The boss is my dad.
Okay, lovely. I hope you all got the answers. So I think the first two lines itself tells you this person feels her job, it's a she, we don't know her name, but it's a she. Her job is the worst job in the world. The pay is terrible, right? So it's pretty clear. Yes, the person is happy with the job, can't be the right answer. It has to be the second option. Has to be the second option. Okay, I'll just play the initial 10 to 15 seconds and that should be clear. Okay.
My job is the worst job in the world.
See, she says it's the worst job. When do we use the word worst? When it's really, really bad. Okay, so it's good, better, best, bad, worse, worst. Okay, it's really bad, extremely bad. That's worst.
I work really long hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day.
8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day. She works really long hours. Okay, is that the only reason she feels she isn't happy with the job? No, there are many reasons that she talks about, but as far as our question is concerned, the person isn't happy. Okay, the person isn't happy. Is that clear, everyone? Good. Are you following along? Perfect. So I'm now going to ask you to click next, so that you should have the number 3 on your page, because this is the third part of the quiz. And now we are going to listen to the exact same audio. It's not a different audio, but now we will have to extract and capture a lot more details than what we already have. We already know the person's attitude towards her job. She isn't happy. She feels it's the worst job. But now we're going to capture some amazing words, phrases and expressions, which we will then delve a little bit deeper into. Okay. So I am again going to play this audio, and while I am playing the audio, here you have an incomplete transcript of the audio. I say incomplete because you have to fill in the blanks, right? These are incomplete because you have to fill in the blanks. They are not filled in for you. Every blank you click, you'll see the options. Okay. So all you have to do is listen one more time to the same person and fill in the blanks. That's all we have to do. Is that clear? Right? If you feel the audio is a little faster for your liking, you can do it 2 times, 3 times by pausing the video and doing it again. But don't jump this stage in the vocabulary development. If you jump this stage, whatever we do next is going to seem difficult. And let's keep it step by step at all. Okay, so all the best to you. Let's complete along with the audio. I will also play the role of the learner, like you, filling in the blanks. Thank you. All the best. Here we go. On the count of 3, 2, 1, and start.
My job is the worst job in the world. I work really long hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day. The pay is terrible and I only just earn enough money to live on. I don't get paid holidays and I lose money if I need to take time off. When I started, they promised me on the job training. Well, they showed me how to make a cup of tea, and that was it. I've been here 10 years and I still haven't been promoted. I'm doing the same job I did when I started, and it isn't really the most challenging job. I mean, I think I could probably do it in my sleep. On my first day here, I was so excited. I really thought this was the start of my career. I thought I would soon be a businesswoman earning loads of money. Well, I was wrong. I know what you're thinking. Why don't I give in my notice? I can't. The boss is my dad.
Okay, so she is in a catch 22 situation. A catch 22 situation is a really difficult situation where you're between two difficult choices. Whatever choice you make, there are going to be consequences, and both of them are going to be against you, right? So she's working probably in a tea shop or a cafe, okay, where who's the boss? Her own dad is the boss. So it's not like any other job where she can resign given her notice. Okay, she has to think about family comes first, it's very important. Sometimes we do things to please our family members even if we don't really like them, and that's something that she seems to be doing despite a feeling that it's the worst job in the world. Now I am just going to wait for about 10 to 15 seconds. You are absolutely allowed to wait for half a minute to a minute. That is completely fine. But you'll just have to pause the video and then do so. Because if I pause for 1 minute, the video will stretch unnecessarily longer. I don't want to stretch the video. You take control of it, you pause it if you want, and then you can move ahead. What I want you to do is spend 10 to 15 seconds, look at all the words and expressions that we filled in. For example, what do you think work really long hours mean? And you can also take the hint from the words and structures around that blank. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., that is 12 hours every single day. So what do you think it means? Just ask yourself, okay? Just activate your brain, and then we will look at each expression in detail along with some of the example sentences and common combinations that we can use instead of that same expression, or which can combine with that word longer. So that's what I want you to do. Okay, about 10 seconds. I'm waiting for 10 seconds. You can wait longer if you want. Okay, that's it. Thank you. You can pause it if you want a little more time, but we're going to move on. And which words do you know the meaning of? Only meaning is not important. You also need to be able to use it whenever you need it while speaking and writing. That's important, right? So, how many words, expressions you can use it? You know the meaning of. You know where to use it and how to make sentences as such. Before we move on, let's quickly check. So if all your blanks are showing green, that means all the answers were correct. If at all something is red or not filled in, just look at my answers and remember that before we move on to the next part of that audio. Okay, perfect. So what are we going to do now? We are going to extract each expression or word, and we will look at common word combinations. This is developing vocabulary in depth. Ready? Let's move on. Here we go. We will first look at individual words, and then we will look at expressions. The easiest of all the words that we looked at is the pay. Mind you, this is not a verb. The verb would be to pay or get paid. This is the pay, means the salary or the money that you get for doing a certain job. First example, employees have been working without pay for last 6 months. If employees are working without pay, is the company in a good situation financially or not so good situation financially? Ask yourself. If it were in a good situation, the employees would have got paid for all the 6 months, right? Second example, workers of the union demanded higher pay. Union is a group of similar work professionals, like in a factory, and they were demanding higher pay. Okay, so if I was earning 10,000, the demand was to get paid a little more than 10,000 each month. That's higher pay, right? Now, what are the common word combinations do you think we use with the word pay? I think we already have the examples. Without pay means without the money being credited, without salary. And sometimes employees have to do that, especially when it's recession. Okay. Higher pay is current pay plus more. Okay, so that's higher pay. Now, let's look at the combinations here. Here we go. A pay cut is the opposite of higher pay. If I'm earning 10,000 every month, my pay will be cut by a certain percentage. Why? Because the company is not doing well financially. So it's taking that measure to control the finances. A pay rise would be getting increment. So you have appraisals, meeting with your managers, your HR team every year. There, one of the condition that is discussed is that of pay rise, increment. Okay. A pay rise can be, in terms of variable salary or a uniform salary. Different companies have different terms and conditions. So now we're just looking at a pay which is increased by a certain percentage, 10%, 20%, and so on. When you change jobs, one of the things you're looking for is a pay rise by a certain percentage, right? A paycheck is what you earn. Even though we literally don't get checks nowadays because, it's all digital payment, but this is what we say very informally. It's not used formally much, but informally. A pay freeze is, for example, okay, you listen to a female working at a tea shop and she was working there for 10 years without any increase in pay, without getting promoted. So if you work at a certain place for a longer period of time and your pay is the same, that means your pay is frozen. Okay, it's a pay freeze. It will not increase or decrease. That's a pay freeze. Such. Lovely. Let's look at the second word. To earn is to get money for doing a job, and this time it's a verb. Okay, it's a verb. Earnings would be a noun. What were your earnings for the last year? So that's a noun, but to earn is a verb. Nurses earn much less compared to what doctors do, right? Earn much less. Earn less than, more than. She was the only person in the house who was earning. So she was the sole breadwinner of the family. Only person who works and earns money. So that is earning. right? Common combinations with words. If you looked at our last video, it was on the topic of money. We looked at the exact same word combinations. If you haven't, just I'll provide the link of that video near the I button as well as in the description, so you can just watch that video completely. To earn a living. She was the only person in the family to earn a living, right? To earn a reputation for being cheerful. Now, instead of cheerful, you can either use positive adjectives or negative adjectives. It simply says, the meaning is, your perception is that of a cheerful person. But your perception could also be that of a reckless, careless person if you're not, really getting on with people. So it could be to earn a reputation for being careless, for being late, for delaying things. Okay, so you can fill that slot with any adjective, positive or negative. The third combination, to earn somebody's respect. Now, this means before you did a certain thing, for example, let's say that you are a sportsman, you went to Olympics, you won a gold medal. After winning the gold medal, you won everybody's respect. You earned everyone's respect. Before that medal, not many people had respect. So to earn somebody's respect is to do something which is difficult and which wins you respect of people, which earns you respect of people. So to earn somebody's respect. We not only earn money, we also earn a reputation, we earn somebody's respect, and these are the most common combinations you'll see with the word earn. A career is something that is a beginning of a job in a certain area like medicine, sports, arts, commerce, or a series of jobs that you might do for life. So it's a start of a journey, but your professional journey, that's your career. Yeah. First example, one has to be really creative to have a professional career in music. A professional career in the area or the domain, in music, in dance, in software engineering, in medicine. You can fill that slot with any professional domain. Mr. Bachchan's acting career lasted for more than 50 years. As I said, a career is a journey, your professional journey, so it will have a sufficiently longer duration. In this case, it's 50 years, more than 50 years. Because Mr. Bachchan is an accomplished actor, right? So, what are the combinations that we use with the word career in English? There are some that are very common. A person can have a successful career in something, as a career in music, a successful career in sports, or a not so successful career in business, management. Instead of saying successful, you can also say a promising career in and the area. A promising career in management. A promising career in analytics. We use one verb with career a lot, and that is to pursue a career as a. To pursue a career as a profession. Profession can be a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, a manager, a director, an actor, so on. So whatever goes in that slot has to be the role that you play professionally. To pursue a career as an actor, as a doctor, as a lawyer, you will not say to pursue a career in something. To pursue a career as a medical professional, as a nurse. In order to talk about the start of a journey, you use the verb embark. Embark means to start, initiate. To embark on a career in medicine. To embark on a career in cricket. Look at the proposition embark on a career in. Okay? So, Sachin Tendulkar embarked on a career in cricket some 50-60 years ago. He's had a promising career in cricket with several milestones, accomplishments. Are we all clear? Good. Nice. Moving on. If you feel it's fast, pause, go back, play it, and then move on. Right? Amazing. So here we have the fourth word, and that is something that you already know. Challenging is something that is not easy to do, and it tests your ability. It will test your skill, your ability to do a certain job. Teaching young children is a challenging job, is a difficult job, and that requires good abilities, good skills. She is looking for a job that is more challenging. Some people get bored doing the same thing, hence they want to change to do something more challenging. So that's the example, more challenging than before. Okay, word combinations. Now here we have something which is really important. If we say somebody is visually challenged or physically challenged or mentally challenged, we have to use these expressions very sensitively. To be challenged means to have a limited skill in that area. So if somebody is visually challenged, that person finds it difficult to see things. Okay? It's an health issue. Mentally challenged, a person who's not able to think, analyze at the same rate like most other people. We also use the umbrella word or expression differently abled people that covers all these types of people. Mentally challenged, physically challenged, visually challenged. Partially blind, visually challenged. Not being able to move limbs, that is hands and legs, physically challenged. Not being able to think at the same rate, or partially working brain, mentally challenged. Now if the person cannot see at all, okay, is completely out of sight, we use the word impaired and not challenged. Visually impaired. Physically impaired would be a person without limbs, either hands and or legs. Hearing impaired is a person who can't hear. Okay, the listening faculty doesn't work. So that's hearing impaired. And we also use the word a phase with challenging. A challenging phase of one's career. A challenging phase of becoming a sportsman. A challenging phase of your life. That is also a very common thing that we use a lot. Are we absolutely clear? Okay. We will also look at some expressions. So we also had some expressions. To work really long hours is to work many hours every day. Okay, that means less rest, extremely long hours at work. Okay, so the examples are: when natural disasters strike, the doctors have to work really long hours in the emergency department. That's true. Example 2: in spite of working really long hours every day, the pay is terrible. Means you work long hours, but your pay is not so good. It's low compared to what you should get. The pay is terrible, really bad. Yeah. Now, instead of saying to work really long hours, you also sometimes use this phrase, to work round the clock, means to not take any rest at all. The crime branch officials were working round the clock to find the serial killer. So you can associate this expression with professions like the police department, the crime branch officials, the doctors, the nursing staff. Yeah? They work round the clock sometimes, especially during emergencies, during things like, if there's a murder in the city, if they want to find a serial killer, and so on. So to work round the clock is to work 24 hours without any rest. To work your way to something. This means to gradually keep on working, starting small, gradually improving, growing, and reaching a certain senior position. To work your way to that senior position. She had worked her way to senior manager's position. Did she start at the senior manager's position? No. She might have started as a trainee, then executive, after that senior executive, team leader, manager, senior manager. So she worked her way to senior manager's position. There is no article before senior manager. Okay? You work your way to senior healthcare professional's position. That's how we use it. Okay. Next, paid holidays. A holiday for which you are paid at work. This is part of your terms and conditions of joining a certain position in a company. You have certain amount of paid leaves, paid holidays, right? Different companies have different policies pertaining to that. This means to be paid for days or weeks you don't work. That's a paid holiday. Full-time employees get 15 paid holidays as well as 6 normal public holidays. That's just an example. This is different for different companies. Obviously. He used his paid holidays to go see her ailing mom. Her mom wasn't well, so he decided to use his paid holidays to go meet her and check on her. How she is, what's her condition like, and so on. Now, instead of paid holidays, we also use paid leave a lot. Paid leave also means leaves that you take from work for which you are paid by the company. It's a part of the terms and conditions. He used up his paid leave to go see her mom. Now, do we only have paid leaves in an organization? No. We have medical leave, maternity leave, sick leave. So just by learning one phrase, you'll remember a lot others as well. The dean of college had to take 1 month's medical leave to treat his brain tumor. A medical leave is leave allowed to complete a certain medical procedure. For example, surgery, hospitalization, maternity, and so on. Yeah. So that's paid holidays, paid leave, sick leave, medical leave, and so on. Remember that. Okay. What's next? Getting promoted. We all know the meaning of promotion is to be given a higher position at work, more responsibilities, and also higher pay, mostly. Because with more responsibilities comes more money. Okay. Ramesh got promoted to senior accountant's position. Ramesh got promoted to senior accountant. Both mean the same, but the grammar is different. When we talk about position, we always add the article a senior accountant's position. When we don't use position, we omit the article. Ramesh got promoted to general manager. Ramesh got promoted to a general manager's position or a general managing position. Is that clear? Okay, perfect. So, what are the alternatives or combinations? Sometimes, instead of saying got promoted, we simply say was promoted or is promoted. The minister was, so that's what we say. Instead of saying Ramesh got promoted, we say Ramesh was promoted to senior accountant. That's it. Now, we also use the word promote as in to market or to advertise something, to encourage people, to use a product, to believe in a certain idea, and so on. That is also something which we promote. Okay. So, the minister was in Mumbai to promote trade between India and the UK. What was the minister promoting? The idea of trade between India and the UK. Justin Bieber was in New York to promote, to advertise about his new album, to let people know, to encourage people to buy that album, listen to his songs. That is also something which we say promote, to promote something. That something can be a music album, can be a movie, can be an idea, trade, or a certain ideology. It can be anything. Are we on the same page? That's amazing. Let's move on. To give in one's notice. This is a beautiful expression. You will use this a lot in your professional world. Okay? To give in. The preposition is give in. To give in one's notice. You can replace one's with any pronoun. He gave in his notice. I gave in my notice. She gave in her notice. She decided to give in her notice. Okay, so pronoun can change. To give in one's notice means to resign, which means to let your manager know that you want to discontinue working or you feel like quitting the job. The reasons can be manifold, can be because of commute, can be because of work-life balance, lower salary, a lot of reasons there. But to give in one's notice is to say that you don't want the job anymore. And you literally say this to your manager or someone that you're reporting to. I have been working 12 hours every day. I will give in my notice this Friday. Have I given my notice? No. I plan to give my notice this Friday. Instead of the word give in, you also sometimes use hand in one's notice. Replace the word give with hand and the meaning is same. I will hand in my notice this Friday. You also can use the expression, I will hand in my resignation this Friday. So, to give in one's notice means the same as to hand in one's notice, means the same as to hand in one's resignation. It's the same thing. But if you remember more, you'll become fluent because you will have a lot of options to use when you speak. That's the whole point, right? Last but not least, on the job training, the training that you do after you join a certain position, not before, after. So the training is part of that job itself. Leading organizations often have robust, means strong, on the job approaches for new joinees. People who join new have to go through on the job training, especially if it's a well-known organization. Okay, that's on the job training. It's not formal training, it's on the job training. Formal education is what you do at a university or before that. On the job training is after you are selected and given a certain position, you will work under a senior or a couple of seniors, and you'll have to go through that on the job training to get to know the company's system, workflows, and so on. Okay. There are other phrases like in-service training, which mean the same, training that you get while you are in a certain service, on a certain job, to get hands-on experience. Now, hands-on experience may not always mean training. It simply means whatever you have learned in books, when you start doing it in a company with a client, you're getting hands-on experience. So you are literally working and applying that learning with other people to achieve a certain goal. After joining a school, teachers have to go through in-service training to master classroom management skills. When teachers go through their degree, they don't usually have experience managing a whole classroom. They learn a lot of things in books like principles, psychology of learning, and so on. But when they go through in-service training, they try that hands-on. So that's one way of giving them experience. Apart from good grades, means good marks, getting hands-on experience is key to seek a good job. People who give senior position jobs, they will look for good academic performance and experience both. And that is hands-on experience. Whatever you have achieved, okay, milestones, accomplishments, hands-on experience in a certain job. And that was it. So we basically had 4 words and 5 expressions and a certain combinations of these expressions that we did. Are we absolutely clear about that? Now, before we move on, I want you to again go to your online quiz and go to the 4th page or the 4th part, and here's a simple evaluation whether you have understood all the expressions and words or not. I'll give you 10 seconds, but in real you will need a little more than 30-40 seconds. So pause this video right now and do this exercise while you pause the video before checking what the answer is. Okay, pause the video, complete. All you have to do is drag and drop. You have the definition, You have to match the expression of the word to that definition. That's it. I hope you tried, and now let's do a check. What do we call the money you get for doing a job? The money itself is called the pay. What do we call the action of getting money for doing a job? The action is to earn the money. Remember the difference? It's a small difference, but a very important difference. To be given a higher position, promotion, to get promoted, is to be given a higher position, more salary, more responsibilities. Beginning a job or a series of jobs that you might do for life, it's a journey, so it's a career. A career in medicine, a career in cricket, a career in management, and so on. Be paid for days you don't work or weeks you don't work. So it's a leave where you're getting paid for that leave. Paid holidays, paid leave, sick leave, and all of those things. To say you don't want the job anymore is to resign, to give in your notice, to hand in your notice, or to hand in your resignation. Okay, that's give a warning that I want to quit. To work many hours every day is to work really, really long hours. To work round the clock is also one way of saying the same thing. A way of learning to do a job after joining work would be on the job training, in service training. A difficult job that tests your abilities is something that is challenging. Let's check. If you got all of that correct, amazing. If you got one or two wrong, look at the video one more time, see my explanation, and that should all be good. Are we absolutely on the same page, everyone? Are you clear about it? Are you sure about it? Okay, that is it for this video. So remember, what did we do in this video? We simply introduced the topic of work and career, and we only did the vocabulary part. We had some words, combinations of the words and expressions connected to careers, work, jobs, and so on. Right. Don't miss the next part, in which we are going to look at the grammar. Right? We are going to look at the grammar. But before we leave, I'm just going to ask you to like the video, subscribe, and please follow our Facebook page and hit the bell notifications icon. Right? Remember, this is part 1, vocabulary. Part 2 will be on grammar, and that's coming up next. You'll find the links in the I icon or in the description, so you can visit that. Okay, all the best. Thanks. Take care of yourselves. See you in the next video coming up. Bye.